Thank you for staying with us. Now, the Multipolitan Wealth Report 2025 is a comprehensive look at the evolving trends shaping global mobility, wealth preservation, and investment preferences among high net worth individuals. The report highlights top tax-friendly cities such as Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Singapore, while also spotlighting non-traditional destinations including Wellington and Copenhagen that are gaining traction due to their sustainability and digital infrastructure. It offers practical insights for families, entrepreneurs, and private wealth advisors to navigate tightening tax regulations, diversifying assets responsibly, and plan for a truly borderless future. My guest is Chi Okebalama. She's executive partner for Africa Multipolitan with a background in private client advisory. She advises individuals, families, and the advisors on citizenship and the residency planning options for global mobility and stability. I can go on and on. But Chi, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much, Tulu.
Yeah.
I'm such a huge fan of yours. And thank you for, yes, I am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's good to hear.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you what you think is most significant, the insights for the Multipolitan Wealth Report 2025, and why should it matter to us, Nigerians, families, and everyone?
Thank you. That's a great question. The first thing I would say is this is our third wealth report.
Wow.
And it's titled The Tax Generation. Just as you expressed in your intro, there's been a lot of government responses to taxation. They're no longer just taxing income. Yeah. They're also taxing assets. So high net worth individuals, the new generation of entrepreneurs are asking questions such as, where will my money be the safest? Yeah. You know, where's future wealth traveling to? So this report, we did analysis, a multi-metric analysis to find out, you know, the three, like I said, the three pertinent questions, and we answered them in three indices. The first one being the tax-friendliest cities. Okay. So, which I think addresses the present, right? The tax-friendliest cities, where can I keep my money? Where's my money safe? Where do they have neutral governments, banking infrastructures, etc.? And then the second index was talking about wealth preservation. So over the last 10 years, where has money been the safest? Yeah. And then the third index, which talks about smart and sustainable cities, is where is the future in terms of digital readiness, climate action, etc. So we had like a wholesome look at the past, the present, and the future, and with that we created the tax generation wealth reports to be able to educate our clients, educate their advisors on where money is moving, etc.
The report spotlights cities, like in my intro, you said Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Singapore, yes. You know, beyond their tax benefits. Now, what makes these cities especially attractive for Nigerians seeking to secure growth of their wealth?
So these cities you mentioned, one thing that is very particular about the cities is their neutrality in governance, their neutrality in government. Right now, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you can keep, right? So although, yes, Singapore is not a low tax income, there's just much more than having low tax income. You know, is the government stable? Are there opportunities for talent? They have high openness indexes, those countries, the UAE and Singapore. You can easily come in and out. The ease of doing business is there as well. So it's not just about, oh, no income tax, low income tax. You know, that's not what we're saying in this report. What we're saying is that besides baseline tax, there's stability in the government. These places are conducive for startups to start. They have a lot of talent, and you know there's a shortage of talent in the world right now. But in countries like the UAE and countries like Singapore, they're, you know, open arms receiving this talent and building their economies. You know, Singapore is like the banking hub of the world right now. With ADGM, they have in Abu Dhabi, they're like one of the world-class asset managers as well. Wow. So with these cities, what we're seeing is that it's not just about having low tax income, but having the structures around it that make it conducive to do business and also make it attractive to investors to come into their countries.
But there are often this speculation or skepticism when Nigerians hear about global mobility and wealth migration. Now, what are some of the most common myths you would like to clarify today? Because, of course, there have been sentiments and all around this.
Okay. First of all, I would tell you that it's not a myth, right? We are experiencing for the first time, first generation entrepreneurs is on the rise in Africa. It's on the rise in the world with with technology, with tech startups, right? And these entrepreneurs have a global mindset. These entrepreneurs want to be able to compete on the global stage. So alternate residencies gives them that opportunity to be able to access international markets, international platforms that they probably will not be able to access with just, what they currently possess. Okay. So it's not about leaving where you are, right? It's about creating more opportunities for you to compete on the global stage, more opportunities for you to have international partners, etc. So for us, it's just giving them the ability to be able to compete on that global stage, to be able to be very assertive in their mindset and to have access to the world.
But how does this report help Nigerian wealth managers, advisors, guide their clients, particularly talking about diversifying assets and planning cross-border investments? That's very key.
Yes, it's very key, especially here in Nigeria. Like what I said, this report is almost like a guide, right? It is a guide for you to understand where wealth has been going, where it's moving towards. And if you have this knowledge, you can advise your clients, like you said, borderless transactions. You can advise your clients on where to invest their money. You can advise your clients on even what to do to be digitally ready. Web 3.0 is knocking at the door, and we need to be able to be ready for that. We need to be able to partake, not just be ready. We need to have blockchain, all those technologies in our palms, and I think this wealth report just allows us the opportunity to be ready and allows the advisor the opportunity to say to their clients, these cities are available, and we can not just invest here locally, we can invest, internationally.
That's a good one. But what do the trends reveal in this report? What does it imply for Nigeria's own wealth investment climate?
So what the report reveals is that, like we say, you can see from the city, from the three lists, a city like Singapore appeared on the top 5 of all the 3 indices, right? What this tells you is that even though Singapore does not have basically low income tax, they have structures. It's a country that is digitally ready. It's a country that takes climate action very importantly. It's a country that is safe. It's a country. So what this tells us in Nigeria is building your country or building the country and Nigeria is very progressive. Building to using these countries as examples. To see how we can get our economies, we can get our people, we can get our mindset to, Singapore is one of the countries that a lot of people understudy, right? And say, look, if they can do this in how many years, we can. So what this report just does is to expose even more the positives of these countries and, to teach us, how to open our minds, how to expand our minds so that we can actually benefit as well from what these countries are benefiting from. Any
specific policies or structural changes you believe could help position Nigeria more competitively on the global stage?
Yes, and I think that is really, like you said, is really important to look outward so that you can also help yourself inward. For policies, I would say that we need to expose ourselves to more venture capitalists, with the likes of San Francisco, Singapore. We also need to create special economic zones so that people coming into Nigeria can do business easier. We need the ease of registering businesses. There's so much bureaucracy around having an international business in Nigeria. We need to attract investors into Nigeria, but then bringing them in here, we need to be able that it's easy for them to conduct businesses. If you look at Abu Dhabi, if you look at Dubai and Singapore, they're very open to business. They're very open to opening companies, and you can see that people are not shying away from staying in those countries because it's easy for a businessman to operate there. Also, with the talent shortages I explained further, Nigeria is booming with so much talent. So much talent. So we need to be able to use the talent we have here to develop ourselves and not just, close it off for other nations to come and take our people, so to say.
Indeed, I agree with you. They are really open for investment, real estate, you know, businesses and all of that when you see what's happening in Dubai and all. But finally, for families of business owners watching today, what's one practical takeaway from this report that they should act on now to future-proof their wealth?
I would say that low headline tax is not the goal anymore. Low headline tax with sustainable governance, with digital readiness, with paired, this is plus, not or, right?
Okay, plus.
Plus. So, you know, tax plus digital readiness plus stable governance plus a positive outlook to climate action, because whether we believe it or not, people want to know where their money is safe. Like I said, it's not about how much am I making, it's about how much am I keeping. So they need to know that their monies are safe in these countries. So I would say for us, having those four armed, you know, gives the investor the confidence to open a business or the confidence to run their businesses across the world.
That's a good one. It's a good way to live it. Chio Kebalama is executive partner for Africa with Multipolitan. I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. I hope to see you
Not until you have another report. We're going to get something to talk about.
Yes.
All right, then. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Tolu.
All right, then. Well, it's time to do market analysis, but let's